An old man lived in the village. The whole village was tired of him. He was always gloomy, he constantly complained and was always in a bad mood. The longer he lived, the viler he became and more poisonous were his words. People did their best to avoid him because his misfortune was contagious. He created the feeling of unhappiness in others. But one day, when he turned 80, an incredible thing happened. Instantly everyone started hearing the rumor, "The old man is happy today, he doesn't complain about anything, smiles, and even his face is freshened up." The whole village gathered around the man and asked him, "What happened to you?" The 80 years have been chasing happiness and it was you live without happiness and just enjoy life. That's why I'm happy now. Moral of the story: don't chase happiness. Enjoy your life.
Upon a time, there was a man who lived with his 3 boys. The 3 sons were great workers, yet they often fought. The old man tried everything he could to bring them together, but he was unsuccessful. Months went by, and the old man became ill. He urged his boys to remain united, but they disobeyed him. As a result, he decided to teach them a practical lesson in order for them to put their differences aside and remain unified. His sons were summoned by the old guy. "I'll give you a bundle of sticks," he said. "You'll have to break each stick in half once you've separated them. Whoever breaks the sticks the fastest will be rewarded more." The old man handed each of them a bundle of 10 sticks and instructed them to break each stick into pieces. They shattered the sticks in a matter of minutes and began to argue once more about who was the first to do it. The father then handed each of the boys another bundle of sticks, instructing them to break them together. They attempted to break the stick bundle. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to break the bundle. "Dear sons," the old guy said. "See, the single sticks were easy to break into bits, but the bundle was impossible to split. So, as long as you are unified, no one can hurt you." The sons saw the value of unity and pledged to stick together. Scroll down to enjoy other moral stories for kids in English. Moral of the story: unity is strength.
The Little Gingerbread Man, an all-time classic story of a gingerbread man that was baked by a lady cook for a young boy named Bobby. The gingerbread looked like a jolly little man, but as soon as he was taken out of the oven, it ran away. What follows is a funny little chase that involves the cook, a cat, a dog, and a monkey till finally, Bobby manages to enjoy the dish made for him. Explore the full story or listen to the podcast of The Little Gingerbread Man. Greater than also read Classic Moral Stories in Rabbit and Tortoise. Once upon a time, there lived a rabbit and tortoise. The rabbit could run fast. He was very proud of his speed, while the turtle was slow and consistent. One day the tortoise came to meet him. The tortoise was walking very slow as usual. The rabbit looked and laughed at him. The tortoise asked, "What happened?" The rabbit replied, "You walk so slowly. How can you survive like this?" The turtle listened to everything and felt humiliated by the rabbit's words. The tortoise replied, "Hey friend. You are very proud of your speed. Let's have a race and see who is faster. Was surprised by the challenge of the tortoise. But he accepted the challenge as he thought it would be a cakewalk for him. Rabbit started the race. The rabbit was as usual very fast and went far away, while the tortoise was left behind. After a while, the rabbit looked behind. The slow turtle will take ages to come near me. I should rest a bit. The rabbit was tired from running fast. The sun was high too. He ate some grass and decided to take a nap. He said to himself, I am confident, I can win even if the tortoise passes me. I should rest a bit. With that thought, he slept and lost the track of time. Meanwhile, the slow and steady turtle kept on moving. Although he was tired, he didn't rest. Sometime later, he passed the rabbit when the rabbit was still sleeping. The rabbit suddenly woke up after sleeping for a long time. He saw that the tortoise was about to cross the finishing line. He started running very fast with his full energy. But it was too late. The slow turtle had already touched the finishing line. He has already won the race. The rabbit was very disappointed with himself while the tortoise was very happy to win the race with his slow speed. He could not believe his eyes. He was shocked by the end results. At last, the tortoise asked the rabbit, now who is faster? The rabbit had learned his lesson. He could not utter a word. The tortoise said bye to the rabbit and left that place calmly in
the golden egg. Once upon a time, a cloth merchant with his wife and 2 children resided in a village. They had a lovely hen who laid 1 egg each day. It wasn't just any egg, it was a golden egg. But the man was dissatisfied with what he was getting on a regular basis. He desired to increase his wealth. The man wanted to collect all of his hen's golden eggs at once. So one day, after much thought, he came up with an idea. He made the decision to kill the hen and collect all of the eggs. When the hen laid a golden egg the next day, the man cut off its neck and split open its body. There was nothing but blood and no egg to be found. He was heartbroken since he would no longer be able to obtain even a single egg. With 1 egg a day, his life was going smoothly, but suddenly he had made his own life a misery. As a result of his greed, he began to become poorer and poorer by the day, eventually becoming a bankrupt. Enjoy other moral stories for kids below. Moral of the story: be satisfied with what you have. Too much greed can lead to disaster. Also read classic moral stories for kids in English. Greater than.
The Greedy Lion. It had been a hot day. A hungry lion was on the loose. He emerged from his den and began searching for food. He simply came across a little hare. With some hesitation, he caught the hare. "This hare can't fill my stomach," the lion reasoned. A deer rushed that way as the lion was going to kill the hare. The lion got greedy. "Let me eat the enormous deer instead of this small hare," he thought. He walked behind the deer, and let the hare escape. The deer, on the other hand, had fled into the woods. The lion felt bad about letting the hare go. Moral of the story: a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. And the grasshopper. A grasshopper was jumping around in a field one summer day, chirping and singing its heart out. An ant went by, dragging a grain of corn to his nest with much difficulty. "Rather than toiling away your life, why don't you come and chat with me?" the grasshopper suggested. "I'm helping with the storage of food for the winter, and I suggest that you do the same." The ant added. The grasshopper asked, "Why care about winter? At the moment, we have plenty of food." The ant, on the other hand, resumed its struggles. When winter arrived, the grasshopper died of starvation while the ants distributed maize and grain from the stocks they had accumulated during the summer. Moral of the story: every struggle and hard work leads to a fruitful result. Also read, Classic Moral Stories for Kids in English. The Woodcutter and the Golden Axe. A long time ago, in a small village, there lived an honest woodcutter. He went into the surrounding forest every day to cut trees. He returned to the village with the woods and sold them to a merchant to get money. He was content with his modest lifestyle. His axe slipped out of his hand and fell into the river one day while he was cutting a tree near a river. He couldn't imagine retrieving it on his own because the river was so deep. He had only one axe, which he had lost in the river. He got really concerned about how he would be able to make a life today and prayed to the goddess for help. Mercury emerged as the god of water. He inquired as to why he was crying. The woodcutter expressed his dissatisfaction. Mercury then split the water and gave him a golden axe. The woodcutter refused to accept it. Mercury returned, this time with a silver axe, but the woodcutter turned it down once more. After that, he arrived with an iron axe. It was graciously accepted by the woodcutter. The river god blessed him with the golden and silver axe since Mercury was so pleased with the woodcutter's honesty. Did you know this is one of the most popular moral stories for kids? Moral of the story: honesty is the best policy.